Were you aware of the profound significance of vitamin D in our lives? And did you understand its crucial role not only in our physical well-being, but also in our emotional equilibrium and spiritual vitality? Through the Zen narrative, you'll uncover the grave peril of its deficiency, a danger you must recognize. If you're keen to delve deeper into this subject, brace yourself for a narrative journey that will illuminate your understanding. Stick around till the end as you'll grasp what conventional wisdom fails to impart about vitamin D. But before we proceed, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and enabling notifications for updates on new content aimed at nurturing your spiritual development. Within the tranquil environs of the Buddhist monastery, life tranquilly unfolded amidst the timeless wisdom of the venerable monks and the serene embrace of nature. One day, with the sun ascending beyond the horizon, Kay gathered his disciples beneath the shelter of an ancient tree. With his composed, resonant voice, he commenced expounding on the significance of vitamin D. Vitamin D transcends mere bodily chemistry, Kay emphasized, his gaze fixed on the horizon. It serves as an internal beacon, forging connections with both nature and the cosmos. Recounting an ancient Buddhist scripture, Kay underscored the text's emphasis on light in the pursuit of inner truth. Just as sunlight dispels darkness, so too can vitamin D dispel the shadows of confusion and melancholy in our psyche, Kay elucidated. Vitamin D is an essential organic nutrient, pivotal in regulating the functioning of the human body's major systems, added the monk. Our forebears, steeped in wisdom, long comprehended what modern scientific inquiry has corroborated. The absence of vitamin D precipitates maladies in body and mind. The disciples absorbed every word, captivated by their mentor's discourse. Expounding further, the monk cautioned that a shortfall in vitamin D could instigate not only physical ailments, but also mental and emotional discord. Sunlight, my disciples, is a panacea for both body and soul, he emphasized. It imbues us with vital vigor, nurtures us with exaltation, and enfolds us in tranquility, fostering inner equilibrium. Indeed, sunlight stands as the primary wellspring of vitamin D utilized by our bodies. Should we fall short of sun exposure, a cascade of adverse effects ensues. Master K, what ramifications accompany a dearth of this vital vitamin? What unfolds when our intake proves insufficient? Queried a disciple, his brow furrowed with concern. The monk, lowering his gaze to the floor, responded solemnly. The repercussions, dear one, are manifold and severe. Vitamin D deficiency heralds an array of health woes, exacerbating if unremedied. It is imperative for the absorption of calcium and phosphorus, essential minerals vital for maintaining strong bones and teeth. Moreover, it is indispensable for the proper functioning of muscles, the brain, the heart, and other vital organs, ensuring a high quality of life, the monk elaborated. However, as not everyone can procure a sufficient amount of vitamin D, many endure symptoms and health issues that exacerbate without intervention. But what are these symptoms and health complications? Vitamin D deficiency manifests in muscle and bone weakness, depression, inflammation, pain, dental complications, high blood pressure, fatigue, weight gain, asthma, elevated cholesterol, susceptibility to flu and colds, gastrointestinal disorders, and excessive perspiration. Now, do you comprehend the urgency of monitoring our vitamin D levels? Do you grasp why prompt action is imperative upon experiencing certain symptoms? Kay inquired, gazing into the disciples' eyes, seeking comprehension. Kay recounted the tale of a monk at the monastery who, following meditation under the morning sun's rays, underwent a profound inner metamorphosis. Sunlight mirrors our innate essence, Kay asserted. When we bask in its radiance, we draw nearer to our genuine essence and uncover the wisdom and compassion residing within us, he elucidated. To underscore this notion, he recounted the plight of another young monk who, secluded for months sans exposure to sunlight, succumbed to chronic fatigue and despondency. A dearth of sunlight exposure can precipitate vitamin D deficiency, yielding severe health repercussions. Han emphasized, always bear in mind the indispensable role sunlight plays in nourishing both body and soul. The monks absorbed his teachings intently, capturing every syllable uttered by their venerable mentor. Kay proceeded to expound that notwithstanding sunlight's pivotal role in vitamin D synthesis within the skin, alternative sources exist for procuring this vital nutrient. Certain foods boast natural richness in vitamin D, he remarked. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines teem with this vitamin. Additionally, egg yolks and cheeses can augment our intake. Nonetheless, Kay cautioned his disciples that dietary sources alone seldom suffice in maintaining optimal vitamin D levels. Moreover, he cautioned, various substances can impede vitamin D absorption. Excessive alcohol consumption, for instance, can impede the body's capacity to assimilate this vitamin. Similar effects ensue with certain medications and numerous environmental substances. The monks nodded thoughtfully, contemplating their master's counsel. Kay continued imparting practical guidance on thwarting a vitamin D deficiency and maintaining optimal levels. In addition to consuming foods abundant in vitamin D, it's imperative to embrace sun exposure, Kay emphasized. Engaging in an early morning stroll or dedicating time to outdoor activities can greatly benefit our mental and emotional well-being. Before we proceed with our narrative, consider leaving a like and a comment. Your feedback fuels our daily content creation, he suggested. At this juncture, the master urged his disciples to attune to the cues emanating from their bodies and minds, as these could signify a deficiency in vitamin D. Be attuned to your vitality, he advised. Should you experience inexplicable fatigue or despondency, it may signal a deficiency in sunlight exposure. Life within the monastery unfolded harmoniously, ensconced in the timeless wisdom of the monks and the tranquility of their natural environs. Nonetheless, an unforeseen occurrence would disrupt the tranquility of the ancient refuge. Ren, a youthful nun accustomed to lengthy meditation sessions in the library hall, found herself abruptly besieged by weariness and debilitation during one such session. Perplexed by her sudden malaise, she retreated to her quarters in search of respite. Upon awakening, she discovered an alarming paralysis afflicting her lower limbs. Alarmed, she summoned aid, prompting an immediate response from her brethren. With characteristic composure, Kay assessed the young nun's condition and discerned the gravity of the situation. Ren suffers from a severe deficiency in vitamin D, he informed his disciples solemnly. His body has become so weak that he can't even move. The monks panicked. They had never faced a situation like this before. However, Kay reassured them and ordered them to find a way to help Ren. So they decided to take Ren out of her cell and expose her to sunlight all day. Furthermore, they began to give her vitamin D supplements and prepare meals rich in this precious substance. After a few weeks of attentive and loving care, the young nun finally began to show signs of improvement. Her strength slowly returned, and the light shone in her eyes again. Kay watched his disciples with pride as they worked tirelessly to help their fellow nun. This experience reminds us how important it is to pay attention to our health and well-being, Kay said. Along the journey, each of you will face challenges. Remember that life is a precious gift, and we must do everything we can to protect and preserve it. But what does this story teach us? That often, the answers to our greatest challenges are under the rays of the sun, in the light that surrounds us, and in the attention we dedicate to the care of our body and our mind. The words we have just heard are a reminder to never take the power of nature and ancient wisdom for granted, and to always be aware of our well-being and health. Whether it is in the warmth of the sun or in paying attention to our food choices, we remember that taking care of our body and our spirit is an act of love towards ourselves. And that when it comes to vitamin D, we must not underestimate its possible deficiency because the consequences can be very serious. If we feel tired and without energy, let's contact the doctor and try to understand if we need to boost this precious vitamin.